Hello and welcome back to Sauron Takes On Super Mario Galaxy 100%. We're going to be taking on two galaxies today. I apologize if this is just a tad bit late, guys. I'm trying currently to get this out on Thursday still, but it is already past my normal upload time. So, no guarantees. Yeah, I'm recording this audio a tad bit late, unfortunately. But that's just what happened. We're going to go to several of these galaxies. We're going to take on two of them. Dusty Dune Galaxy will be in the next video, but Gusty Garden Galaxy and Freeze Flame Galaxy will be the ones we take on today. I don't know what I'm going to call this episode yet, but we're going to call it something. I don't know what, but we're going to call it something. Anyway, hopefully we won't have too many interruptions. You might hear a bell in the background, and that is because we have a cat that's semi-rambunctious, but she is currently wearing her harness, because we have a cat harness for her. And, yeah, so you're going to hear that in the background. As for why this was late, well, we got busy running a lot of errands the previous day, and I wasn't really able to completely finish this. So yeah, there's that. I also might yawn a lot because I'm running on about 3.5, 4 hours of sleep. Yep, so that's fun. I'm pretty sure what really kept me awake was acute food poisoning. So yeah, fun for everybody, I'm sure. I like how that planetoid over there is just a giant question mark. Fun. We got moles here too. Yeah, so these guys are basically the 3D version of Rocky Wrenches from Super Mario Bros. 3, and that's kind of cool. I actually really like those enemies. That's about all I have to say for that one. They're wearing pirate-esque gear, which is funny because Rocky Wrenches were basically Monty Moles that you'd find on the airships. But I think they predate Monty Moles now that I think about it. They were definitely a mole-like enemy, though. As for Gusty Guardian Galaxy, you probably can't hear it over me very well, but like this music is like the classic Super Mario Galaxy music. This is like the one piece of this OST that really good. Like this might as well be Galaxy's theme song at this point. So there's that. But yeah, we're going to be taking on the stars here. The only stars that I'm not 100% completing in these galaxies are, of course, the purple coin challenges, which I could go take on the last of the bosses. And in that field, I could also basically beat the game and then unlock the purple coin challenges. But I'm going to be working on the other stars first. I don't really want to deal with the purple coin challenges quite yet. But I could. I probably have enough stars to do so. I think, anyway. I could be wrong. There's some... a lot of vines here. This is a garden-based level. And of course, you have moles. Because it's a garden. Moles are always a pest in the garden. You also have the rabbits and plenty of dirt spots to find some, star candies in. So that's cool. I do get a lot in this episode, which is cool. The hungry Luma outside the bedroom hasn't spawned in yet, but I'm sure it'll be there soon enough. You gotta go through like a certain challenge to spawn them in oftentimes, so. But yeah, Gusty Garden Galaxy is actually a really good place to get the little star bits. That's what they're called. Couldn't remember their name for a second there. Oh boy. Doing great today. Ironically, I gotta go to my day job and deal with customers, so that's gonna be fun too. But yeah, this Galaxy, I don't know. The level itself, the music is amazing, but like the level itself is meh to me. Nothing really too exciting happens here. I think the coolest set piece that you really play on is that giant caterpillar, which we'll see in a bit. But outside of that, man, this Galaxy really didn't have much going for it. It's just a few colorful garden beans, I guess you could say. And that's about it. A lot of moles, though. Now, technically, these aren't like rocky wrenches per se, but I call them that because they're very reminiscent of said enemies. I don't know what these ones are called. Maybe they are rocky wrenches. I could be wrong. But rocky wrenches, they actually predate the, like I said, Monty Moles, because rocky wrenches come from Super Mario Bros. 3. I love Super Mario Bros. 3. I kind of miss how imposing the airships used to be back in the day. Oh, now we gotta catch a rabbit. That's from Mario 64, actually. I'm pretty sure. We're a little reference there. Which, honestly, if you know Japanese folklore, does make perfect sense. Rabbits are often associated with the moon and space in Japanese folklore. So to see these little buggers associated with stars is not really too awfully shocking if you know that. Case in point, Usagi is the Japanese name for Sailor Moon, which is called in the Viz dub, the newer dub. If you guys have watched that, if not, it is what it is. Sailor Moon isn't my biggest cup of tea by any means, but Usagi basically means rabbit. And that's because, yeah, she's a moon princess, and Japanese folklore has rabbits heavily associated with moons. A lot of Pokemon have it too, actually. For example, Clefairy and Clefable. Clefairy is already kind of rodent-like in a way. It kind of reminiscent of Pikachu's design. It gets bigger ears when you give it the Moonstone. Nidoran, male and female, are also associated with rabbits. Well, they get the Moonstone in their evolutionary designs too. Or not designs, their evolution method. There we go. So, there you go. Rabbit. Jigglypuff gets rabbit ears when it evolves because of the Moonstone. Yeah. They, later generations would not have as much inspiration with the Moonstone, associating it with, like, actual rabbits and everything like that. But, yeah, the original 151, any Pokemon that was associated with the Moonstone, to my knowledge, basically was also associated with rabbits in some way, shape, or form. So that's a fun factoid. Stuff's all over the place, too. Naruto's final boss fight, I guess you could say. I think her name is Kaguya. She kind of looks rabbit-esque, and she's from the moon. Bam. You got One Piece, Carrot. She has a powerful transformation associated with the moon. Bam. Although her entire tribe, the Mink tribe, does, but that's besides the point. Carrot's the first one to show the form in question, so, which makes perfect sense if you know Japanese culture. A rabbit showing off the moon transformation. Ha ha! If it was Western culture, it would be a wolf. They're beating up moles again. It is kind of crazy to think that Monty Moles, to my knowledge, first showed up in Super Mario World. And frankly, like, they didn't leave much of an impression on me, per se. It was the giant ones that you rode around on that left the impression on me. I just skipped that area. I guess we're not going there. You don't need to go there. It's just a bonus area that you can grab onto. But here's the caterpillar I was mentioning earlier, by the way, guys. This is a fun little set piece, in my opinion. Is it a challenge? Not really, but it's kind of cool that you have the traditional apple. Oh, and a worm comes out of it. That's kind of neat. My question is how is this worm physically in that first apple? Because there's no way the mass of this thing... Look how long that is already. There's no way the actual mass of this caterpillar equates to inside that apple. There's no way. Like, not to get too scientific or math, but there's no physical way that that worm is actually still in there. But it's still a fun little set piece nonetheless. The giant cube is okay, but like all you do there is chase a rabbit. Like it'd be fun if there was more stuff to do on that cube shape. I don't know. I like cubes. I'm a GameCube fan, gotta say. But the worm was a nice little touch. We're actually approaching that planet up there with the dirt. So we gotta get through this one first, but... which we could honestly just skip through, but we are coming up to a boss fight. It's not that challenging of a boss fight. Compared to Bouldergeist, oh, this fight's like easier than dirt. Oh wait, we're in the dirt. Huh. Well, maybe that's why, instead of, hard as rocks, it's as easy as dirt. I gotta get used to him, though, first. Let me just waste all my life. So what you're supposed to actually do, and I kind of forgot about this, is wait for him to pop out like that, and then smack him. Which, I'm sorry, but for how big this mole is, he's not that tough. Again, this is just me getting used to the design here. It's very rare that I actually come this far. Like, I've played Galaxy a couple of times, but I think I skipped this boss the last time I played. For my original review, I got, like, a lot of the stars in the first area, and I 100%ed the first area. But, like, I didn't get everything, and I think it was past Bouldergeist that I just started kind of skipping ahead a lot. I don't know. I might have fought this guy. I don't remember. But there's the star. So that's one enemy taken out. I apologize. All things considered, I'm not doing too awfully bad for being semi-sick last night and not getting any sleep. So now we're going after The Gravity Scramble. Honestly, the sad part is I see footage of this particular star getting grabbed a lot on YouTube. And I never remember where the hell this was. When I was playing it the other night, recording this, I was like, oh, it's in this galaxy. Okay. That kind of makes sense, I guess. It's just not... I'm sorry, most of the stars in this particular galaxy are not memorable to me. The music is great, and that's about where my love for this begins and ends. So. The next galaxy we're going to go to is a bit more memorable to me, but is also more challenging, too. I kind of mess up here. Not the worst thing in the world that I missed that. But I do come back and get it in a second. Well, in a second. No. In a minute or two. Like I said, I got a lot of star bits. So, I'm doing pretty good on those. Yeah, I do remember the hidden star. Like, once I got to this point right here, I remembered exactly where the hidden star was. And you can probably see where it's going to be at. Because often in the distance, there is a golden chain chomp that's just kind of floating around. And yes, that's exactly where the star is hidden at. Is in that golden chain chomp. If you see a golden chain chomp and you break it open, you get a star. I think it's the first time we've seen this so far, but it does come up again later on. I think. I could be wrong. Like I said, been a while since I've actually 100%ed this game. And I've never 100%ed it, technically speaking, because the adventure with Luigi is also a thing that you can get. And honestly, I've never really 100%ed that part of the game. I do intend to do so, inevitably. But who knows, I might take a bit of a break before I start trying to do all this with Luigi. Because 100%ing this game takes long enough. Now do it with Luigi! Yay! But I will say that my re-review of this game will probably come out long before I actually completely 100% this game. Because once I get Luigi, I don't really need any more footage to talk about a re-review. It'll just be like, oh, here's Luigi, here's Rosalina's storybook, bada bing, bada boom, done. You know, all I have to do is get Luigi and get like a couple of stars with him. And that's it, really. Luigi's just kind of bonus material, so... As much as I will 100% the game with Luigi, it's not something you really need to do, per se. It's just a reward for going above and beyond, you know? But I do think you get slightly rewarded for 100%ing it with Luigi as well. Or at least beating the game with Luigi. I could be wrong on that, but I do think there's one more reward. And I've never gotten that reward, but... Bam. Gotta get my Starbit quota. Now, see, I do remember climbing up on these and kind of messing with them. I don't think I did that the last time I played, but I do remember this level. It's just that the set pieces look cool, but then it was like easier than heck to actually get through here. Other than the cannons, I don't remember any of the cannon crap. But I don't find it too awfully difficult to get through it either, so maybe that's why. Which is a shame too, because this is kind of reminiscent of airships, which is funny. There's a lot of love to Super Mario, like classic Super Mario fans in this game. Which is probably why, for a while, Super Mario Galaxy was my favorite 3D Super Mario game for quite some time. Because you got the return of Wigglers, which is cool. They're not a boss fight, they're just a standard enemy. That's cool. Because Wigglers have been kind of around, but they're both a boss fight in Super Mario 64 as well as Super Mario Sunshine. They're boss fights. They're boss fodder. And that's cool. But, yeah. So we're going to go back and get that chain chomp real quick. And then I think the comet shows up after the fact. Now, to get the chain chomp, to actually be able to break it, you got to get really skilled with these little dandelion puff things. Because that's the only way you're actually getting any of this crap. But I think after that, the initial 3, it gets a lot easier. Because I didn't get that originally, if you guys remember. But I'm just looking at the scenery at this point. I don't know what the heck I'm doing here. There's something kind of cool looking at stuff upside down. Yep, let me just run right into that guy. There we go. Now it's time to absolutely crush it. I'm glad Power Stars, like the actual invincibility Power Stars, did kind of come back in this too. Because that's basically what these are, and that's kind of cool. They actually have you do some challenges with them too. Some of which are optional, sure, but they have challenges with them. That's really cool. Remember when I started this game for you guys and I couldn't get the timing down on those rocks? Yeah, I just did it twice in a row, so that's cool. Also, for those of you wondering when I'm going to go back to Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong 100%ing that game is exhausting. I still plan on doing it. I still plan on finishing that. But it's exhausting. I'm also thinking of restarting my Final Fantasy VII fight. Because, like, it'd be a lot easier for me to play that on computer than... Oh, there's the comet. Cool. It's a Daredevil comet. No surprise, we did have a major boss fight at this level. Again, not as hard as Bouldergeist. So the Daredevil comet shouldn't be nearly as hard either. But no, it'd just be a lot easier to record RPGs off of my computer than on an actual console. So I might start doing that. I don't know if I'm going to do it as an actual Let's Play at that point, though. So we'll see how it goes, but... Bam. So yeah, there's the first hit. Gotta let him catch up a little bit. And then he thinks he's going to run. Nope. Cool part is that little tail of his, it's bald, and so it's, I think that's what you're actually hitting is his tail, because some reason Mario enemies have a weakness with their tail really badly. But the tail also extends just a little bit, and it allows your spin to hit it without you getting like up and close and personal to his butt. So there's that. And that was first try too, so heck yeah. Done and done. For now anyway, we're done with Gusty Gusty Garden Galaxy. My brain keeps trying to put in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Holy crud. But crushed it. That's awesome. The next galaxy, however, is a bit tougher. Bit more of a challenge, bit more of looking around. The majority of the episode today is going to be this galaxy in general, so I hope you don't mind Frost and Lava. Baron Burr. Technically another boss fight, but even the game doesn't really treat him like a major boss fight. Oh, pardon me. I do enjoy ice skating, though. I'm glad Mario's like, instead of just, making ice it's slippery. It still is, but you could actually gain a lot of speed on it, too, by doing the ice skating thing. And I kind of like that. It adds more mobility to Mario that hasn't really been seen before. And it kind of makes this a little bit fun. Given he's a lot harder to control still. But you can gain a lot of speed from that, and that's pretty cool. Not bad, old man. Skating skills like that, you might have a chance. Small chance, but a chance nonetheless. Dude, how are you alive on this little planet? There's no food here. And to my knowledge, once you leave, there's no way to get back either. So do you come to this planet and steal food? You're the only penguin here that I know of, so what's up with that? I almost run right into that Goomba. I'm also looking at these star bits and not realizing that I can just like swing my cruiser around. There we go. I was like, oh yeah, I can totally do that. Run right into him. These little things are not that difficult to deal with. But I do remember them being a lot more annoying on my first playthrough, because I didn't really understand them, how to deal with them very well. Once you get Mario skating, even Ice Mario, it is hard to stop him. And as situational as he is in this game, I do actually like Ice Mario. Sorry, ice skating is fun. But I do get where like the other games are coming from, where they made him less situational and more of a traditional power-up. Because in New Super Mario Brothers, they took the concept of Ice Mario and turned him into basically Fire Mario, but with ice, which is actually a bit more useful, ironically enough. Those of you who don't know, ice as an element in New Super Mario Brothers, it's great. I do see how these things could have been annoying when I was younger. I did review New Super Mario Brothers as well. I need to really go back to that series and click on the one for the Wii at the very least. That's the one most people talk about, is the one for the Wii, and it's a shame too, because like in New Super Mario Brothers standards, the game for the DS was absolutely phenomenal. Like, it's not even close. Like, the game for the DS is so good. New Super Mario Brothers. And I know it's hard to believe. New Super Mario Brothers? Good? What? But, yeah, the DS one was really good. The original DS one was phenomenal. The Wii one wasn't bad either, because, like, yeah, it kind of made it a tad bit more generic, but it brought back, like, the Koopa Kids, and we haven't seen the Koopa Kids in Super Mario World. You know, it was cool. And then Super Mario Brothers 2 for the 3DS, I've never played because it just looked like the same crap. And then you got New Super Mario Brothers for the Wii U, which was good. I'll give it that. It was like a better version of Super Mario Brothers for the Wii, but it still felt like a version of Super Mario Brothers for the Wii. But the 3DS one and the Wii U one are what really kind of hurt that series, I think. Personally. So we're fighting this dude, and I don't know, this feels like a Mario 64 boss, because in Mario 64, the boss fights were really, really simplistic. And that's kind of what this is. This is like a throwback to the original Mario 64 levels. And not bad by any means. The fact that this made me feel like, hey, Mario 64, cool, is a nice throwback. But like I said, Galaxy throws back a lot. It's great. So we got that star. That one took a little bit longer than normal. My brain forgot what I was talking about right before that, so there's that thought out at the window. Yeah, it's just gone. My train of thought lost in the forest. Hey, there's the comet already. Cool. This is weird. This is like the only level where the comet will show up before the initial level that it's replicating. Because, like, it is replicating a specific star in this particular galaxy. But, like, it's kind of not. Although, I guess you could say that the reason they did this is because the comet one is actually easier than the actual original star. And that might be the case, but I don't know. It's still kind of weird. This is like the only galaxy I know to do this. I could be wrong, though. That was a cool move, though. I'm pretty sure I blow Shadow Mario out of the water on this one, though. Like, I don't know exactly how far back he is, but I don't think he catches up to me. Maybe at the end here, but yeah, I don't know. He might just teleport there because you already won the race. But I never saw him. Like, once I took off, he was gone, man. I'm glad they brought back Shadow Mario for this, though. See? Throwback to Sunshine. And I'm sorry, y'all can complain all you want, but Sunshine is still a great game. It's just not fun 100%ing. And there's really no reward for it either, so... Like, there's a lot of shine sprites in Sunshine that you just... You don't need to go after them. You really don't. And honestly, with how annoying it is, I wouldn't recommend going after them either. Whereas this game, if you guys haven't noticed, I haven't flipped my lid, I haven't gotten upset, I haven't, had a problem 100%ing it. There's some challenges that are harder than others, absolutely. There's some that are definitely, like, possible frustration if you're, not doing well. But for the most part, I don't know. I have a lot more fun 100%ing this game than the other games. You don't need a reward for going the distance. Like, not every game has to be, like, super rewarding to go the distance. But if the game is fun to go that distance, then by all means. Super Mario 64 is borderline because, like, the 100 coin challenges are just frustrating. Like, I'm really good at them. I might as well be professional at getting 100 coins at this point. But, hey, look, a burnt out star. But, at the same time, like, I still enjoy most of the stars in Mario 64. It's just the 100% or the 100 coin challenges that I'm not the biggest fan of. That's it. That's all it is. And yes, they are much worse in Super Mario Sunshine. But when you think of, like, annoying challenges in Super Mario Sunshine, ironically, the 100 coin challenges don't even, like, come to your brain. Because there's so many other stars before that, or after that, however you want to play it, that are just as bad, if not worse, than the 100 coin challenges. And they made them worse than the N64 version, so what the heck happened there? So yeah, Sunshine, no go. I will say, at least in Mario 64, you do get a bit of a reward. It's not the greatest thing ever, no. It's basically 100 lives in a game that you've already beat, and you don't really need the lives for anymore. But at the same time, like, at least it's a reward. And it's funner to go the distance in that game, too, so bonus. This game, I would say it's pretty fun to go the distance. There's a few trials that are pretty tough. Like I said, there's stars that are harder than others. The purple coin challenges are better than the 100 coin challenges for the most part. But there's one that's going to test my patience, I can already tell you. I haven't forgotten it. We haven't even been to that galaxy yet. That's how good it is. But, yeah. There's that. But, again, it's a challenge, but it's not like the whole game is that frustrating by any means. And that one challenge, in my opinion, isn't frustrating. It's just difficult. That's the difference. You got to get real friendly with the controls, but it's not like some impossible, frustrating mess that if you don't know exactly what you're doing, you're going to have a bad time. It's just the game wants you to be capable of doing what they're asking you to do. And again, it is tough. It's absolutely tough. The purple coin challenge I'm thinking of, ugh. But here's the thing. That's like one star that plagues my memory. Whereas the other games, they have multiple stars that plague my memory. The purple coin challenges, the cool thing about them is that, yes, they are 100 coin challenges, but they're not nearly as bad. Like, a lot of them are in one particular area. Some of them you do have to comb the galaxy for, but there's usually more than 100 purple coins in that particular area, so it shouldn't be the end of the world regardless. And it's set up for you to actually play that challenge. It's not like, oh, I'm picking a random star and hoping that there's 100 coins in it. No, you're not doing any of that crap. It's a star, you pick it, and hey, there's purple coins now, you gotta collect them. But the game is set up for you to collect them on that specific challenge, rather than Sunshine's bullcrap of pick a sprite and hope for the best. You might have picked the wrong episode in the level and you don't even have 100 coins, because there are some levels where it's impossible to get 100 coins from. And that's ridiculous. That is absolute ridiculousness. So, it's better here for sure. And that's, again, part of the reason why Galaxy, in my opinion, is better than Sunshine and 64. Galaxy is awesome. Throwbacks to all the other Mario games. It's fun all the way through. There's rarely a dull moment. And despite the fact that the gimmick, quote-unquote, of Mario's Galaxy is this gravity manipulation, not everywhere has the gravity manipulation. I mean, if you notice, very rarely have I actually used the gravity manipulation here to do anything other than switch from, like, top to bottom. Whoop-de-doo. All this is a normal level. And another throwback to Super Mario 64. In fact, this whole galaxy is a bit of a love letter to Super Mario 64, in my opinion. And the reason I say that is because in Lethal Lava Land, there are ruins associated with the volcano. Like, that's always something that kind of tripped me out, because, like, if you look, there's actually runic places. There's ruins in this volcano that you traverse in Super Mario 64. Well, this is kind of the same way. Yeah, the torch puzzles are maybe a Legend of Zelda reference too, but, like, this feels very similar to finding the ruins in that volcano in Super Mario 64. So that's cool. The log rolling thing is also a throwback to that as well. See? They got this going on, guys. Galaxy, for the longest time, was the GOAT. And, frankly, Super Mario Odyssey only barely beats it out. In my opinion, anyway. Super Mario Galaxy 2 is real close as well. But I'm going to put Galaxy up higher, ever so slightly, than Galaxy 2. But Galaxy 2 is also a really good love letter to Mario fans. It's a bit more of a challenging game, but it's still really good. Like, I'm never going to say that Galaxy 2 is a bad game by any means. And I would actually say the level design on a more technical level is actually better in that particular game than this game. Like, I still like the level designs here, but, like, Galaxy 2 just edges it out ever so slightly. But this game has more throwbacks, better story. Yeah, this game just edges it out overall. But, again, people who like Galaxy 2 more than Galaxy 1, I get it. I absolutely get it. I might not agree, but I get it. But then you got Odyssey. And Odyssey's fantastic. The only thing that this game doesn't throw back, which Odyssey kind of does, is Super Mario Land, which is kind of crazy. Like, there's hardly any throwbacks to Super Mario Land here, whereas the Tiki enemies in the desert world in Super Mario Odyssey are a throwback to Tiki enemies in Super Mario Land. And the fact that you're visiting different cultures in Super Mario Odyssey is also a tad bit of a throwback. I'm kind of surprised Daisy didn't show up in that particular game. Because that would have been a perfect introduction into mainline, 3D Mario for Daisy. But they did bring back Pauline in a big way. That was kind of cool. Peach was actually kind of a really fun character in that game, too. For those of you who don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of Peach. Out of all the princesses in Super Mario, she's like my least favorite one. And I don't know much about Daisy at all because I only see her in Mario Kart. Because I haven't really played the sports titles all that much. So I still kind of like her ever so slightly better than Peach. Because every time I do see her, she seems to have more spunk, more personality. And I don't know, unless it's one of the RPGs, you don't really see a lot of personality in Princess Peach. But Odyssey kind of changed that a little bit. You saw some of that, that spunk, that spirit in her, and it's like, okay, alright. I'm still not putting her above Rosalina, but at least she had some cool character development anyway. Pauline kind of overshadowed her a lot in that game, though, so, oops, somebody messed up. And it went from Pauline being my least favorite to my second favorite because, again, as a mayor, Pauline has a lot more character development. She's not just Mario's girlfriend who Donkey Kong kidnapped. Because that's all she was to me. She was Mario's girlfriend that Donkey Kong kidnapped. She kind of shows up in the Game Boy Donkey Kong game a lot. Okay. If you guys don't recall, I never played that game until recently. And that was for the review. That's kind of a cheap shot. The thing caught onto my... Yeah, absolute cheap shot. Come on now. What the heck was that about? But no, Pauline, she didn't really do much for me. Like, I don't know. I've seen her, but that's about it. And yes, the games that she shows up in are classics. You got Donkey Kong, the arcade game. You have Mario vs. Donkey Kong, which... I've never played it, personally. But I hear it's a continuation of Donkey Kong from the Game Boy game, so I am excited to eventually play it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But it's got my curiosity piqued, so that's cool. And then she shows up in Super Mario Odyssey, which she does way more in Super Mario Odyssey than... I think I'd take a while here. I'm also not doing good not getting hit. Huh. Anyway, yeah, she shows up in Mario Odyssey in a big way in New Donk City. Which, yeah, might be a bit biased. New Donk City is probably my favorite level from that game. But she showed up in a big way. And honestly, you see a lot of personality from her in that game. So, yeah, might be a bit biased, but she did really well. She was a cool character in that game. And Peach was improved in that game too, so... Now we're just waiting on Daisy to show up in the mainline Mario games, and then we'll be pretty good. Oh wait, she did. She was a playable character in Super Mario Wonder. I forgot I hit that torch. That's... Whoops. Man, I was not doing well in this particular level. What the heck? I'm pretty sure I die here too, but... Is what it is. Although I think I died in like a cheap way too. I don't remember exactly how I did it, but... Oh yeah, the Goomba killed me. That's right. I tried to ground pound the Goomba and I just barely missed him. And he's like, ha ha, free real estate, let's go. Props to him on that promotion, I guess. But yeah, it is kind of funny because Princess Peach is obviously the main motivation for Mario to go on these grand adventures. I couldn't care less about Peach. Oh yeah, I died here too. Man, what the heck? Anyway, yeah, I couldn't care less about Princess Peach. She shows her support in letters, you know, but she's a little too goody-good for my taste in most of the games. What little personality you see of her, anyway. It's just like a, oh, come help me, please, you know, or, oh, here's an item. Good luck. The only times I really care about Peach is when she's playable, because when she is playable, she's kind of badass. Like, Super Mario Bros. Super Mario Bros. 2, that's what I'm trying to think of. She's cool in that game. And Super Mario 3D World, she had a little personality. It's building up in that particular game, too. And while she's a damsel in distress again in Super Mario Odyssey, she still has personality. When Bowser and Mario flood her with flowers and she just pushes them back like, hey, quit it. That was cool to me. I liked it. So we're going to head back because I got a secret star to get, and I do know where the secret star is. Once we get the secret star, I'll end this episode, though, just so we're clear. I did remember where this thing was, though, because I actually found the secret star in this particular level originally when I played, before I found the main star that I was supposed to get. And I was kind of messing around, exploring a little bit, and I kind of ended up finding the star, the secret star, before I even fought King Burr. Then I fought him, and that was underwhelming. But again, bit of a nostalgic throwback to Mario 64, so I can't complain too much. But Mario 64 does have forgettable boss fights, and that makes King Burr a bit forgettable, so I suppose I can complain. Haha! Boss fights in Mario games didn't really, like, bolster up until about Super Mario Sunshine, actually. Sunshine had some pretty good boss fights. 64, not really. Super Mario World and Super Mario Brothers 3 had boss fights. I wouldn't say they were super good, but they were there. They didn't have a lot of originality to them, unfortunately. Super Mario World was a bit of an improvement over Super Mario Brothers 3. Super Mario Brothers 3, they were all samey. And unfortunately, the new Super Mario Brothers would cater to that. Jeez Louise. But, 64, I'd say, was a step back in boss fight territory. Not necessarily in gameplay, though. Like, 64 is still an amazing game, but... boss fights, yeah, they didn't do the greatest. So to get the the secret, you got to get up there. Now, for whatever reason, I have a nasty little habit of falling into the water trying to get up there. It's not the first time I do it. Hup, hup. Oh, I'm so close. Now, what I should have done was realize, and, you know, hindsight 2020 and all that, but what I should have done is realize that I was getting closer to the edge with every jump and readjust myself every time if I was going to try it that way. There we go. That's what I was trying to do originally, but man, Mario did not want to do that. Anyway, here you have the dark side of the moon. I mean, the back side of the mountain. And, you know, to get here, we still don't need no education. We're going to be taking on snowmans, ice bats for whatever reason. And of course you need the fire flower, so that's fun. Let me trace all the way back. And trace all the way forward. Almost die right there. Actually get hit by the bat, which is fun. I forgot those star bits, but I didn't actually mean to kill the bat, but that was a fun revenge. I could probably get the star bits here if I'd paid attention, but I was in a hurry to finish this. Like, it's time to go. That almost done with the galaxy feel, you know what I mean? I'm not even worried about the lives because I'm about to save and close up and the lives reset anyway, so who cares about that extra life? Look, more bats! And that's... I mentioned this galaxy kind of being a bit of a throwback to Legend of Zelda. And honestly, I think the bats might be too, because, like, let's be real here. They look like keys. They look like ice keys. Yes, Mario, I think, has had run-in with bats before this. I think. Could be wrong. But, they look like keys. They actually look like the ones off of Wind Waker specifically, but this is about where I wrap up the video, guys. Thank you for joining me. We conquered 2 galaxies. We did quite a bit. If you like the video, like, subscribe, comment. It really does help me out. I'm sorry if I wasn't super interactive today. Lack of sleep does that to you. But, yeah. Have a good one, everybody. Take care.